Hi, I'm Christine Herman of Herman's Quality Meat Shop in Newark, Delaware. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today in this video we're going to be taking these pieces of dry-aged meat and turning them into ground beef for delicious beef patties. Are you ready? So, we have various pieces of dry-aged beef that we use to make our ground beef. And they don't look all that attractive. Some of them look fatty, some of them look more lean, and some of them don't look like anything. But we're going to do a little bit of trimming today and show you what we do here. And I'm going to take this little piece here, and we have like membranes that we remove. And in some of our previous videos, we've discussed how when we trim a fillet or when we trim a ribeye steak, we take that trimmings and we put them into our ground beef as well. And that is absolutely the case. But there are other pieces of meat that we have on our shelves that are also excellent for our ground beef that we have to actually prepare as well. And in doing so, we need to remove certain membranes and make them grindable and so on. That's a good word to use. And sometimes you'll see that I'll leave some of the fat on and cut this up into a grinding portion. And this will be a fun opportunity for you to see a little more of the inside of our store too. I have a tub here on my left. And I apologize for not always looking up, but I have a tub here on my left where I'm going to be putting my trimmings and my meat into that we're going to be grinding from later. So I'm going to do some trimming. And some of this is good fat, like this is actually really good fat. We're going to hold on to that. But this particular piece has, again, another like silver skin or membrane that you can see right here that I just kind of pick up and remove because we don't want that in our burger. Certain pieces of meat that we do not want in our burger because they will affect the flavor and also make grinding more difficult, and we do not want that either. So we like to add lean as well as fatty trim because our burger, our regular ground beef that is an 85-15 blend. So I'm just going to cut this up. This is a nice lean piece, but you can see that it does have some nice marbling in it as well. So I'm just going to go over here. We do all of our custom cutting right here in the store, right in front of our customers. We are never afraid to show you what we do and what it looks like. We have a lot of customers who will say, "Oh, what are you doing with that? Can I have that for my dog?" Like, well, you could, but we put that in our burger. So especially when it's something like filet, because that's really important. Adds a lot of good flavor. This is an interesting piece here. Hopefully you can see it has like some dark coloration in there. I don't want to grind that. I'm going to trim that off. That would actually just make my beef patties a little darker, and I don't want that. So I'm going to remove that from it and just kind of go all the way around, do what we call facing it, and put that out of the way. So now it's nice and fresh and pink again. I'm going to set these aside, and I'm going to move this guy here and have you watch me. This is a piece of meat from what's called the plate. And I do the same thing. I just kind of go all the way around the edges, trim that up. And it has some really good fat in it. And this piece is part of the rib section. It protects the the breast of the animal, and kind of going in circles here. You can see I'm going to leave some of that fat on there to add flavor, because actually, as much as we think about we want to eat the muscle and the meat, the flavor is actually in the fat, believe it or not. And I know that not everybody can eat the fat because of health reasons or preferences, and that's perfectly fine and understandable. And that's why we also make what we refer to as a ground chuck, which is meat from the chuck portion. And there's a blood vessel in there. I want to make sure I don't grind. It's hanging out right there again. And our ground chuck is about 92% lean and about 8% fat. And sometimes people get a little confused because they think that chuck meat should be leaner than that, but really the chuck portion of the animal is fattier than you would expect. But we try and keep it lean for our customers as well. And you can see that I'm intentionally leaving some of that fat on there because, again, that's where a lot of the good flavor is. You can see some of that marbling in there as well. But there's portions that are not as desirable, but we clean that up. Set that aside. Come back to, and we just trim. Take one piece at a time, and what we do is all handcrafted. We don't buy any pre-cut meat. We do it all here at the store, and that makes a big difference. And all of our meats are dry aged, therefore they all have a very delicious, consistent flavor. And a nice sharp knife is very helpful. I want to make sure I get that edge out of there. That aged edge is not good. We'll remove that. We'll leave that fat in there. We'll do another piece with the fatty trim, and then we're going to add some more of this nice lean meat here. And we'll get a nice blend, and I'll show you what that looks like when I'm done. And then we're actually going to switch locations and go into our refrigerator, which we refer to as our back walk-in, because that's what it is. It's a walk-in refrigerator. And we're going to grind the meat, and you're going to get to see what that looks like. It's fun because a lot of customers will say, your store looks so small. But it's actually kind of deceiving because it's bigger than it looks, but it's not always easy for you to tell as the customer because you walk around the building to get from our parking lot to our front door, but you don't realize what goes on inside and what our refrigeration looks like. And you're going to get a small tour of that today in this video. And there's some meat back here. We don't waste anything. Come back to that. So we'll leave some of that fat on there. Again, you can see the marbling in there. I'm actually going to do something you're probably going to be surprised that I'm going to do, because you're going to say to yourself, what? Why are you going to cut up that beautiful piece of meat? It looks so nice, but I'm going to show you why, because I have to make a nice combination blend of fatty meat and lean meat. And I'm going to take this piece. This is actually a portion of what we call the bowler, which is a bigger muscle in the shoulder. And you can see that it does have some nice marbling in it as well. But I'm going to add that to the fatty trim and make a nice blend so that it's not all fatty and it gets just that nice 85-15 blend. And this is what we do all day long. We grind fresh meat for our customers all day long. We do have meat that's frozen when they ask for it because they're traveling or they're putting a quantity of meat in their freezer. And it's easier for us and easier for them because it takes a lot of electricity to freeze your meat. And if we do it for you, then that saves a lot of time and energy on your part. So I think we just about have our blend. And take, okay. I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to give you a little peek inside my tub here, what I just did. And hopefully you can see a nice view of the blend. And we'll get a better view on top of the grinder in a minute. But that's our combination of the fatty trim with the leaner trim. All right, here we go. We're going to go back into the refrigerator. Come with me. All right. How was that little behind the scenes? Was that fun? Now we're going to make some burgers. So we have our beautiful blend here. We have a little trick to making our burgers because, as you know, we do everything by hand here at Herman's. So we like to first form a log because this keeps the burgers nice and firm on the inside and not falling apart. And we have the option to make whatever size burger you want. Our typical burger is 4 ounces. That's your quarter pounder. But we have some customers that like them smaller, 3 ounces, some 2 ounces, which are sliders, and on up to 5, 6, 7, and even 8 ounce burgers. So this is kind of our little secret here of how we make them. So I'm going to show you each size so you get an idea. So stay with me. There's a little method to my madness here, you'll see. I'm going to weigh them out. So now is the perfect time of year to start thinking about your picnics and your barbecues because it is getting to be summertime, warm, and burger season. However, there's always a good time for a Herman burger. So we're going to just go like this. All right, so you're thinking to yourself, what did I just do? So again, we do them by hand. That's 3 ounces. 4 ounces. 5 ounces. Did I do this wrong? Nope. 6 ounces. I actually missed the 7 ounces because I was talking. I got myself distracted because I know that's 8. Excuse me. 7. And believe it or not, here's an 8-ouncer. We have customers that love their 8-ounce burgers. Personally, I like to have a 5 or 6-ounce burger. That's my favorite size. It's just enough that's on the bun. And we do have customers that also like to add other ingredients to their burgers. Bacon, cheese, salt, pepper, eggs, whatever is your preference. However, I personally like to just enjoy the flavor of the hamburger. So again, 3, 4-ounce, 5-ounce, 6-ounce, 7, and an 8-ounce burger. There you go. You can take a look. See, you can see the gradual size increase as it goes up. So I hope that was helpful. And we can talk a minute about how to cook them in our cooking tips. Okay. All right, so we had a little tour of the back refrigerator, and one of the secrets that we do when we make our burgers is we form a log, and then we cut them, and it gives a nice solid burger. And we weigh them up, and I've got some weighed right here, and then a little bit of handling with your hands to make a nice patty is always perfect. So we have a 3-ounce, 4-ounce, 5, 6, 7, and an 8-ounce burger is what we have made here. And our burgers are delicious just the way they are. Maybe if you want to add a little bit of salt and pepper, maybe lettuce and tomato, a little slice of cheese. Your toppings can go anywhere from avocado to zucchini if you want, but I like to keep it simple because I like the flavor of our dry-aged beef well blended just like this, and I think it makes the best hamburger just the way it is. And certainly you can pan fry them, broil them, or grill them. So I hope you will try a Herman burger sometime, and that's our secret to a famous Herman burger. Enjoy. Thank you. All right. Backyard barbecues and picnics are so much fun, especially when you're with your family and your friends and your loved ones. But you always want to keep them safe. Safe in lots of different ways. What does that mean? Well, you always want to wear a hat when you're out in the sun, sunscreen, and you always want to keep your food at the proper temperature. So in order to keep your cold foods cold, one of the secrets, and you probably have seen and heard this before, but I'm going to demonstrate it again, is taking the 2-bowl method, I call it, and taking some ice, putting it in the bottom bowl, and putting another bowl on top. Okay, that won't work. So we have, it's like a double boiler kind of thing, but only it's filled with ice. And you can put your watermelon in the bowl, and that will help keep it, well, that one didn't jump out of the bowl. And this will help to keep nice and cold. It's always a good idea to keep it covered because you want to keep, little flies and bugs and sometimes little fingers out of there until you're ready to serve it. But that's one really important way to keep your cold things cold, like your salads, your fresh fruit, your vegetables. And you always want to have a thermometer handy. I know I've talked about this before, but it's really important to keep your cold foods at approximately 41 degrees because otherwise there are pathogens that could grow, and that's not a healthy situation. You want to try and check the ice to make sure that the ice stays frozen as best that you can, and obviously on a 90-degree day you're going to have to rotate that more than once. Always using a cooler is also a good idea as well, but the ice bath is a really good idea. If you notice that it's starting to get warmer or above that 41 degrees, then you want to either throw it away, refrigerate it, and bring it back down to that cold temperature. On the other hand, if you have hot foods, like you have hot chicken or your burgers, and you can keep them on the grill or keep them in a warm situation at around 135 degrees Fahrenheit is always what I'm referring to, I should say. That's really important as well, and you could use a hot plate or a crock pot. And if you find that they're starting to get below that 135, you want to put them back on the grill to get that temperature back up in a quick manner rather than a slow manner, because again, those pathogens can grow and it's just not a good idea. And of course, any product with mayonnaise, you always want to make sure you keep it well chilled as well. So I hope those were some helpful tips, some things that you probably are aware of, but it's always good to have a reminder when we're going out and we want to be safe all the time in the summertime. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you. Well, we have gone from what I'm going to refer to ugly, dry-aged pieces of meat to beautiful Herman burgers. You watched the whole process from start to finish, basically. We've gone from 3-ounce burgers up to 8-ounce burgers, just the way they are. Nothing added to it. They're delicious. You're welcome to add whatever kind of topping you would like or put something inside it. It's strictly up to you. But remember, when you're grilling this summer and enjoying your barbecues and picnics, remember to keep cool and wear your sunscreen. Remember to hydrate. Don't forget to like our page, subscribe to our channel, and feel free to comment below. And we hope that you will join our Herman family. Thank you, and God bless you.